Hi, everyone. I know it's been a long day. My name is Dan. I'm actually the Chief BD Officer for a company called 3Merged. Let me give you a brief background of who we are and what we do. So, 3Merged is a company that is a spin-off team from the company called Nod Games. So we started off as a game developer back in 2018. We've created a few games, and one of our most famous games is called League of Kingdoms. And based on that business success, we've been approached actually by a lot of the larger game studios and Web2 game studios in South Korea. They wanted our expertise in Web3 so that we could bridge the gap between the Web2 knowledges, and so that they wanted us to assist them through their journey into Web3. So today I'm here to give you an introduction to one of the finest projects that we will be publishing later this year. So without further ado, I want to show you, what the game looks like, because in Web3 game, I think the two most important things are actually the quality of the game and in which areas we'll be using the Web3 components. So this is the first part. Could you please play the video?
Wow. He's both. And both out. Finished it. Give enough to the platform. Fine. It's very fucking. Start the video.
Yeah. So I mean, that was an actual in-game play video recorded. The game is based on Unreal Engine 5. So the quality is top notch, and it's a AAA targeted game that we're trying to publish in Web3. So as you've seen, it's a first person / third person shooting game, and it will launch later this year. Now, I think the major difference between the other FPS Web3 games and our game is that we are focusing the Web3 components on two big parts. One is the transaction, like the P2P transaction between users. And number two is that we are trying to detach the tokenomics from the in-game play, because we've seen a lot of projects, and we've also experienced that if we put too much weight on the tokenomics part and try to mingle it in with the gameplay, it's most of the times it comes up with a disaster. So we're trying to keep the two apart, and I'll show you how we're trying to do that. So with the NFTs, we are trying to create an interoperable ecosystem where NFT from each of these different modes will interact with the user and the in-game play all differently, but the same assets will be used across the different game modes. We will have a sandbox shooter mode, the battle royale mode, and an exploration / extractor shooter game. And it's going to be a full package of all the FPS games that are already out there, but in a cyberpunk look and feel. So, like I said, you basically have the full package of all the FPS games, all the popular genres in one game with Web3 components. So when we were doing publishing or developing and operating League of Kingdoms, what we realized was that people are more interested in the P2P transaction component of the games. So if you look at a lot of the mobile games, unless the company, the developer, actually creates a marketplace for these users to interact, there's no way for a user to directly communicate with another user to trade items between them. There was no way. And a lot of the MMO games on mobile were only technically MMO because there was no real interaction between the users. With League of Kingdoms, it was an RTS game, and we've allowed the tokenization of certain assets within our game. And users actually use these assets to trade with other members by creating their own individual chat rooms, their own community, to communicate and then trade items that they don't need for something that they do need, whether it was a fungible token or other pieces of NFT. And we focused on that aspect of the game, and we realized that that is something. There's a demand for such P2P transactions between users. So we're trying to create a game set where most of the items will be able to be tokenized, but realistically speaking, we know that only the rarest and the more expensive items will be coveted amongst different users. So we're focusing more on these like collectible parts and rather than the consumable NFTs, but both types of asset classes do exist in game. So this is a good example of like what we're trying to build here. So ERCC1155 is a fungible, agnostic multi-NFT that you see across all different types of products out there. And then the standard ERC721. And what we're focusing right now on is the ERC6551, which is a token-bound account. So it can be used as an inventory, NFT inventory, where you put all the items, the ERC721s, into this NFT class. And that NFT itself will be able to be traded with other players or even between my account. So I think this whole transferability is what we're trying to really focus on with the NFTs for this game. Now, the second part, when I told you about the distinction or the differentiation or the detachment of token and in-game play comes play in the user-generated content. So I've been a gamer for the most of my life, and when I look at the games that are long-lasting, the games have endless content. And most of these contents do not come from the original devs. It actually comes from the volunteers out there who really love this IP and they want to add on to the game by creating their own user-generated content, whether that is Fortnite, the StarCraft series, or Warcraft. All of these have some sort of UGC component, which allows these games to last has a long product life cycle. Now, and with that, we also benchmarked what TikTok and YouTube and other content creator platforms are doing. So anybody can participate. Anybody can become a creator on these type of platforms. But not everybody takes back and earns from these type of platforms. Only the top value-adding content creators will be able to go back home and call themselves content creators like YouTubers or TikToker who actually have a lot of followers, who create a lot of views. And so it's like rewarding not everybody who participate in the ecosystem, but those who make meaningful add-on value to the ecosystem. And that's where we come in, and we're trying to use the tokens to reward the top content creators who provide the top quality user-generated contents on top of our game. 1 minute left. Yeah, so hold on. So I think, for teams like Fortnite, they can do this through PG service that they have. But for smaller gaming companies, they do not own a PG gateway service. So we want to use tokens as a proxy to allow this distribution of wealth to the top value-added content creators. So this game will be going on top of a platform that we're creating right now called Arena Z. Well, that is for another day to discuss. So we're trying to build a platform for community and for games to launch on top of it. This is the details for what we're trying to raise. We're trying to raise 3 million out of a valuation of 25 mil. We are trying to do this in 3 different baskets. The first 1 million is almost filled up. So we're trying to fill up the rest for that first 1 million. The team, the roadmap. I know these are all important, but I'm running out of time, so
Thank you. All right, cool. Thanks, Dan. All right, judges. Or to you.
Yeah, no, thanks a lot, Dan. Yeah, I would love to learn more about how you think about go-to-market strategy, given, there has been kind of a number of games targeting like the different segments that you mentioned as well. So yeah, we're curious.
So that part will be actually taken care of from our platform launch. So our platform will be a place that we focus, launch all of our game products on top of it. So League of Kingdoms will be there. Our next League of Kingdoms game is called League of Kingdoms Chronicles. We'll be launching year end. We're also publishing a game called NHN. NHN's game. NHN is actually one of the largest social casino web board companies in Korea. They are launching their game in June. So we have multiple games recurring on top of this platform. And what we try to do is to focus all the community members or all the players that we've acquired through successful games like League of Kingdoms, and NHN will be doing their Web2 marketing on their own efforts as well. So we're trying to garner all these users that we've acquired from all of these games into one platform, and then use that as a distribution channel. So by the time we launch the new order, we've already would have built a significant amount of users. And the first base that we're going to use is the League of Kingdoms users. And we've acquired 200K unique wallet addresses. And our daily active users number is still around 50 to 60K. So we're going to start from there. And we're going to start the trickle-down effect from all the users that we've garnered through these variety of games that we're launching on top of a single platform.
Got it. No, thanks a lot. And curious, for the existing daily active users on League of Kingdoms, what are the demographics like? Are they mostly from Korea? Which countries are they mostly from?
Yeah, so the top 5 demographics is number 1 is US, number 2 China, number 3 Philippines, number 4 Brazil, number 5 Iran.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Then just one quick question. You guys built a very successful game, Loka, that became a Binance Launchpad token, even up till today. What is one of the biggest setbacks you had from building out Loka, and how are you guys tackling that from building out THN?
So I think because League of Kingdoms was a mobile game, we had to go through, Google Play and App Store. So to circumvent a lot of the regulations, we also had to launch a WebGL to accustom the users who are in regions who cannot play Web3 games. So in Korea, it's technically illegal for users to engage in Web3 games. So for them, it was really hard to just access the game on mobile. So for the new order, it's actually going to be a computer-based. It's going to start off as a computer-based game. So I think we do not have to worry too much about these app stores and Google Play regulations and the regulations by each country. So I think we are trying to currently work with Web2 game distributors like Steam for now, and hopefully our platform will become the Web3 Steam for a distribution channel. So I think that's the first way that we're trying to tackle the hardships that we face when we're launching a mobile game.
Just one very quick question. So your team has been around since 2016.
2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
What event make you decide that it's a good time to start this? Like what technology breakthrough that we have in crypto that you're like, this is the best time for this one?
So I think it's less about the technological breakthrough. I know it's happening all the time. It's happening too fast. Like we cannot follow up with like every single one of the technological innovations. But I think what really has pushed us to start this publishing business was because of the attitude of a lot of the larger Web2 companies in Korea. So we believe in a more top-down approach in mass adoption. So we believe that these larger corporates who have a lot of money, who has a lot of resources to push for these technological innovations to the forefront of customers, if they are interested, if they really want to come into Web3, we feel like that's a good start. It's going to be a good catalysm for a mass adoption. And this is exactly what we witnessed in South Korea. So I know that there are even multiple game companies like today in this event. You've probably seen Nexon here. There's Xpla. There's all these multi-billionaire companies that are very interested in Web3. It's just that they need a focal point. They need an actual distribution channel for their products so that they can showcase it to the players globally. So I think if we have the keys, we have the gateway towards unlocking this new horizon for these game studios. We thought that it's a business with demand and the scalability.
All right. Thanks, Dan, for the wonderful presentation and the Q&A session.